Hello and welcome to this final video of 32 jackpot marketing secrets from history's greatest and craziest persuaders with David Lowenthal. I'm David Lowenthal, and this is the 32nd jackpot marketing secret from history's greatest and craziest persuaders. So thank you for coming along with me on this ride. I hope you got a lot from it, but we'll jump right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 legal and ethical marketing secrets from history's most infamous huckster. And no, for any of you watching this, it's not Donald Trump, not even close. This is a guy by the name of Dr. John Brinkley, who was caught up in the early medical craze of grafting goat testicles on men's testicles in order to increase their sexual potency. That was what a lot of people actually believed at the time. You had a lot of fraudsters, hucksters, scam artists running around making all sorts of crazy medical claims, but one man stood above the rest of them, and that man was Dr. John Brinkley. And I think I got this idea from the great copywriter Dan Kennedy. I first learned about him from Dan Kennedy because Kennedy said that we can learn the most from hucksters. We can about marketing. We can learn the most from scam artists, not their not their motives and not their crappy products, but oftentimes their marketing is great. And if you actually have a product or service or cause that is good, that is noble, that does what it says it's supposed to do, you should actually look at how, in part, you should look at how scam artists and hucksters actually sell, because they have a real talent for it. And if they can sell bad products and terrible products that do horrible damage or are rip-offs or all sorts of things, if they can use their principles to sell that kind of thing, you can use it to sell honest goods and honest products. So we should actually look at these people and emulate them to sell good things, because just because somebody is a scam artist doesn't mean they don't have, if everybody's going to them, you should see what they are doing, because their marketing is not corrupt. They are corrupt, but their marketing is effective, and you can learn from it. So Dan Kennedy has written a whole book on this. I urge you to check that out. It's called Make Them Believe. It's a very great book that he breaks down the marketing principles in ways much better than I. But I'm just going to take a few of the ones that I observed to boil them down for you and see if you can integrate them into your marketing. If you're a libertarian entrepreneur who serves a libertarian audience, or a libertarian nonprofit marketer who serves a libertarian audience, I think this could be a great thing. Or whatever it is you sell, this can help you out for sure. So principle 1 is desire drives decision. Now, people were, all sorts of these medical scam artists were making all sorts of claims of what, goat testicles could do to enhance your medical behavior, enhance your health and, make you much healthier. They were saying things like, it could make you smarter, it could make you stronger, all sorts of things. But Brinkley discovered that there was one market that was the most intense and most hungry for this kind of solution, and that was men who wanted to increase their sexual potency. And so he had a fraudulent, surgeon's license, and basically he made the claim that if you come down to my operation in this tiny town in Kansas, I will do this operation for you, and you will, be the most sexually potent man in your whole town or your whole state even. He made that promise, and so he created that vision, that desire in men that really they came, and they came a long way, and they spent a lot of money to do this. So he was able to do that to such a degree because he was so good at bringing out that vision in his prospects. So that's principle number one. Principle number two is he was a big fish in a small pond. He wanted to not go against. It's interesting. There was a market of scam artists, and a lot of the scam artists were all in the big cities, and he didn't want to compete against them directly. So he came out to this tiny town of Milford, Kansas, to answer an ad, and basically set up his empire from there. Which, there was nobody within 1,000 miles or 500 miles who could even come close to his ability. So he started there and built his way out. Eventually he was in all the cities, and he was well known, across the country and across the world. He eventually set up shop in Mexico as well. But he started from that small point. So whatever it is you sell, you should not be looking to go up against the big established guys, at least not at first. You should find a little niche that you can dominate and then build yourself out in. And the next principle 3, where are we? Principle 3 is infotainment. I've first heard this one from, a lot of people heard the word infotainment. I first heard it from Ben Settle, who is publisher of Email Players Newsletter, a great newsletter for all things copywriting. Highly recommend you check that out. But talks about this idea of combining information with entertainment. Tony Robbins has talked about it. Lots of people say we're in the infotainment age. So it's you want to make sure that your marketing is both informative and entertaining, because there's so much content out there that you can't afford to have boring content. You can't afford to have boring marketing, especially. You have to be out there making things entertaining, not necessarily goofy or funny, definitely not that, or it has to be strategic in everything it does. So for instance, Brinkley, what he did is he bought a radio station and would flood it with his medical information for his medical marketing, but it wasn't just some dry, boring medical talk over and over again. He brought on country music, and he brought on all sorts of talent, in music, in comedy, in culture, all sorts of things that people naturally wanted to listen to, and then found ways to tie it into his brand, into his marketing. He had a show called Medical Question Box, where he basically invented the first kind of call-in medical radio show. Probably one of the first call-in radio shows to begin with, where people would call in with their problems, and he would have his various, fake patent medicines that he would say, oh yeah, it sounds like you've got this, disease he just made up, and that you need potion number 5 or potion number 10 or something. And then they would go to their local drugstore, which contracted with Brinkley, to sell it to him. It was a brilliant use of infotainment. That is to say, information that is entertaining. So our next principle is villains. He created villains all over the place. People who, maybe women who laughed at men who were not sexually active enough, but especially he created one villain, which was the American Medical Association, which was going after him and trying to stop him from doing his work. And he basically turned his whole audience against them, saying that these people are trying to shut the truth down because it threatens their corporate profits or whatnot. So he was able to create villains that cemented his audience to him even more. And that's something that you should do. You should find out who your market's villains are. I talked about this in a previous video when I was talking about the Daily Mail, that leveraging hatred, leveraging the hatreds that your market has, is a very lucrative, very beneficial marketing strategy to employ. So next, next is publicity. Publicity, he would always go out on the road, and he would pump himself up. He had a radio show. He even ran for governor of Kansas and lost, but it helped get his information out. And he also, he had negative publicity too. I was talking earlier about how the American Medical Association was after him, and he used that in all of his ads. He's like, I'm the man that the American Medical Association, which was so powerful in those times, they're coming after me, and he used that in his ads. Saying, look how big I am, look how famous I am. I'm somebody who you should be taken seriously. So those are the 5 legal and ethical marketing secrets used by one of America's biggest hucksters. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for watching the whole series. I hope you got something from it. If you're a libertarian marketer, entrepreneur, nonprofit marketer, I urge you to take a look at my newsletter, the David Lowenthal Report. It's the first direct response marketing newsletter meant for libertarian entrepreneurs and libertarian nonprofit marketers. Check it out, and I will see you in the next video in the next series. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you for being here along with me on this journey. Thanks.